Hi there, I'm Fletcher Sauce and I'm back again with a live playthrough that I'll be streaming on Twitch. This is my new solo save. It started off as a network save. We done 4 seasons and then me and the 7 other streamers decided to call it quits. I won the league 4 times in a row and the playoffs 4 times in a row. However, I only got to the Champions League semi-final twice, so I'd really like to try and win the Champions League, North American Champions League with Pacific FC. So yeah, this is a continuation from our network save that I'll be doing solo, trying to win the Champions League. If I win the Champions League with Pacific FC, I'll find a new club and try and complete the Pentagon Challenge. So yeah, let's get right into it. What's going on, Anthony? What's going on, Wilco? Finally streaming at a reasonable time, huh? I've been actually really excited to play this save at a time where people could watch it, because I think this team that I've built, this Pacific FC team that I've put together, is an awesome team. And I kind of feel like, I know we won the league 4 years in a row, and you could say, oh, you've basically won everything there is to win. However, winning the Champions League with a Canadian team is such a massive feat because of the wage cap, because of how dominant MLS and Mexico are in the North American Champions League. It's so difficult to win with this. Like, if we look at my team, we'll jump right into it and look at what contract level my players are on, and we're talking about £1,200 a week is the highest paid player, and the wage cap at the club currently is at $16,250. So winning the Champions League at any point with a Canadian team is pretty nuts. Hi Noel, hello, welcome. What's going on, Noel? So yeah, you're falling a bit behind, Wilco, but I'll catch you up real quick. What's going on, Anthony? So yeah, here we are. We've got a cup final to play. We're just back off of winning the playoff final against Stick Piano, who is managing Forge FC. And this is a pretty good win for us. We were really convincing in the semi-final also, where we won 5-2, and we took down our 4th playoff in a row. Also, we now play the domestic cup final against Toronto FC. What's up, Ashton? Hello, buddy. Welcome. We play Toronto in the final, so we're going to get that done. We're going to make a nice tactic for Toronto. Hopefully, we win the domestic cup back-to-back. I think we won last year against... Oh, it was against Vancouver. It was against Dill last year. I forgot about that. And then we're going to move on to a transfer window, and I'm going to show you how I recruit and how I can recruit for this team, and if I can improve this team at all. Hello from Malaysia, found you on YouTube. Hello. I've been to Malaysia before. It was pretty cool. I had friends there, so I got a nice tour guide. What's up, Corey Play Games? Hello. How's it going? So yeah, I just explained that we're going into this save now, and the first thing we've got to do is, after completing the playoff final and getting the win, we have to do a domestic cup final against Toronto. So the first thing I'm going to do in typical fashion is look at their formation. I already know it's a 4-4-2, a flat 4-4-2. If you didn't know, one of the things you could do is click on Toronto, click on their manager, and look at how he plays. So he plays a route 1, super direct, pressing 4-4-2. This is how he plays. So we're going to set something up for that. However, the tactic that I played in the final, this one, is pretty good to play against a 4-4-2 also. I'm going to bring up my tactical board to talk about what my plans are for this game, what I think we're going to do transfer wise as well. So this is what I use the tactical board as a squad planner. This is the squad. This is my version of a squad planner. This is not the one I use for tactics. This is the one I use for squad building. You made me such a better manager on this game after watching your vids. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So we go here, and we're going to look at the setup of Toronto. Toronto are going to be the blue team in this example. So this is Toronto. We're going to go free here. So boom, we've got our 3 players versus the 2. We're going to put our wing backs. Who's going to be wing back here? We're going to put our wing backs here, and then we're going to put some players in the middle. And we're going to look to get this kind of stuff going on. Obviously, we have a deficit here. Makes sense to have a deficit in attack when you're playing against a really strong team like Toronto. Toronto, pre-warning, are a much better team than me. So we're training this Honey Badger 411. It doesn't matter the name, as long as we make sure that we're training it. And then we can, I'm not going to change too much of this tactic because I think it's going to work really well against a 4-4-2. Plus we're away to Toronto, and I set this up to play against Stick in the final. So we'll just keep this going. We do have the luxury of being able to use players that we don't normally use because there's strict rules for the Canadian Premier League, but not so much for the Domestic Cup. You could that formation still work when you're the superior team? Absolutely, yeah. It just depends. You could be a superior team and they can have some just good players mixed in with that. Like, just because you're the superior team doesn't mean you have to forget about the threats of the inferior team. What's up, Chris? Hi, I've been loving your vids and how you set up against different formations. How do you set up against 5 at the back formations with 2 strikers? I will definitely make a video on that in the future, and if we come across it during this, I'll go into it. You're referring to just basically like a 3-5-2, how I set up differently. I wouldn't like, you're gonna I do a bad job at explaining really complicated things. This is really complicated. I don't set up any set way against any formation. I will position my players based on where I think they're going to do best against that formation and the opposition players. So I could end up playing anything. It would be totally dependent on who are the best players in the team, who are great, who are slow, who are fast. So I don't really have a set rule. Now, if I did want to say I had a set rule, it would be something close to playing a 3-4-1-2 against a 3-1-4-2. So you're just like a man down in defense and a man up in attack and then one down in midfield. But in future videos, I'll be able to explain it a bit better. So stay tuned to the YouTube videos and I'll be able to explain it more. But short answer is both are the same. It depends. It depends. Long way of saying it depends and not. So, okay, we just come off the back of a final and the back 3 played great. The back 3 absolutely beasted it in the final. So we're going to go with the same back 3. They seem to have kind of good chemistry when they play in a back 3 too. Goalkeeper picks himself. It's Crepeau, former Canadian international level goalkeeper. We're going to go House. He's the only person that's kind of left-footed only, so it makes sense for him to go on the left. We've got Jalen Neal and Okello. Now, this is the first thing. For those who watch my videos already will know this, but for people here that are new, you'll see I look at the strikers and they got Insigne on this side. Look at Insigne. He's got no pace anymore. If you can see it, he's got 10 acceleration, 8 pace. And then we look at the other striker who's pretty quick, dangerous striker. So if I'm going to have one of the slower guys on him, I'd want my right side centre back to be the quickest one. So we look at the speed of these guys. We look at Neil, 13-12, and we look at Okello, 11-14. I'm indifferent about this. Okello for his size, I don't think it makes a huge difference. You'll see the profile of all of my centre backs. They all kind of look similar. They've all got around 10 dribbling. They're all kind of quick and tall. That's what I like. That's what I look for in centre backs. On the left, we're probably going to go with Vin Zhao, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Probably not. He's got not an amazing amount of pace, but obviously he's great quality and he's got some good defensive stuff about him. As I'm away from home against a superior team, I'm going to focus on wanting to play players who are better defensively. So I could go for an all-out crazy attacking left wing back, but I'm not going to do that because Win Zhao can do the business here. Finally catching a stream. CGM, how's it going? I know, I streamed so late for the network save. I've been dying to basically play this network save by myself because I love it. and I've been dying to stream earlier so people can watch it. So this finally ended on Thursday. Our network save it come to a close. They were like, I'm not going to say they gave up after 4 seasons, but I'll say that they've got other ideas that they think will be more interesting in the future that I'll be part of. So yeah, Brout Julia, cross more often, cross on byline, aim crosses at far post, tackle harder, sure. And then cross on byline, cross more often, aim at far post, tackle harder. Do you want to run wide with the ball? Run wide with the ball because he has got only 1 foot. What about Brout? He's got 1 foot also, right? Weak left foot. He can run wide with the ball, but I feel like Winjow needs to be told to not, like, he hugs the line and he crosses early. I want to basically tell him to do everything that isn't cross early, because cross early is not great. So what's next for you? Offline save. Yeah, this is offline save now. This is me carrying on the network save by myself because I love my team. I built basically this is my favorite save I've ever done, and I've built a team I love. And whereas everyone else is kind of over it because I won all the 4 seasons, for me, winning the Champions League with a Canadian team is so massive, and I feel like I've got a great opportunity to do something that's really challenging, which is do that. Do a Rangers save and dominate Celtic just to please me. Oh, you're a Rangers fan. That's going to be way too easy. They're going to give you a handicap for the next one. Yeah, I said that I wouldn't be against the handicap. I said that they might want to think about a handicap. Tiaguinho, he's not registered for my normal team. Let me show you my regular team. So we already talked tactically what we're going to do to Toronto. It's not that complicated. We're going to have an extra man in defense and 1 less man in attack, right? But if we go to our other, sorry, I'm so glad I didn't bring that up. Drugs. The answer to your question is drugs. So here we go. Yes, this is my team. This is what it looks like. You can only play 5 foreign players that are not Canadian. And then you can have 7 total. So you can bring them on, you can have them on the bench, but you can only have 7 registered foreign players. But in the cup, you can have more than 7. Much more than 7. So this player is not registered for us, but he gets to play in cup games. So I'm going to make sure that he plays. He has to play. We love him. And then Longstaff is going to play, even though this is the Longstaff from Newcastle, the good one. I watched him play today, actually. And then we got Longstaff is going to come into midfield. These guys are going to be the volantes. We're going to have to be careful with the instructions because we are playing against Toronto, not some bums. But we will have one of them move into channels and dribble more, which will be Tiaguinho. Tiaguinho's got 13 dribbling. He's got some good shooting and stuff, so it's fine if he wants to move into channels. On the left, we're going to play our best player. If you don't know who our best player is this guy, Andre Carrera. Don't ask how he plays for Pacific FC in Canada because I don't know. He was a Juventus. I think he had some big signings, right? He went to Juventus for 9 million when, like, 5 years ago. And then he didn't really get a look in. He played when they played for Parma on loan in Serie B. I do not remember that. But yeah, he's our best player. He's going to be starting. Our other best player is Serjan. Serjan is, you might recognize this guy. He's Arsenal youth team player. Is it your preference to play down both flanks, or is it set up for your team, or both? I would say all of that, Sterling. I'd say basically yes to all of it. What teams am I up against for what exactly, Wilco? Teams in the domestic cup or in the Champions League? This is Serjan. He's a former Arsenal player, a former Arsenal youth player, I should say. I made him sound better than he is. Best way to beat Combat the 4231. I'll make a YouTube video on that. I can't go into depth in these type of questions while I'm streaming and playing a save. Like, that sort of stuff is going to be covered in a YouTube video, or if it happens in a video. In this, you're only going to see me play against a 4-4-2. You're going to see me play home and away against Toronto in a 4-4-2. So, yeah. What team's up against the Champions League? We don't have the Champions League draw yet, but basically you play against the top Mexican and the top MLS teams, but the top Mexican teams are a little bit better than the MLS teams. So you basically have to assemble a team in Canada that's capable of beating the best teams in Mexico. I'll show you what teams have knocked me out real quick. But this is Club America. And you'll see, oh, I could just go here. You'll see that they knocked me out here. And this is Club America. And if we look at the wages that these guys are paid, we're talking about 50, 40, 40, 35, 35, 30, 30, 30, 25K. This is what the wage structure of this team looks like. And if we look at some of the value of the players, they've got this guy. Remember, we signed him for Leeds. He's absolutely nuts. He's super good. He's probably one of the best players in the league. And then they've got this centre back. He's probably one of the best players in the league. Arezzo, everybody knows him. So we're going to have to compete against that with this type of wage budget. Hey man, wanted to know your opinion on the centre mid pivot matchups. Say both teams are playing attacking with defensive mid. How would you pair them? And would it depend on relative? Well, it always depends on relative qualities. If the guy's so good, I like to put 2 people on him. If the guy's not so good, I can put 1 on him. If my DM's amazing, I can risk putting 1 on him. If his guy is not that good, I can risk putting 1 on him. Stuff like that. Stuff like that. General questions like that, you'd be surprised how long it takes me to explain the whole concept of that. So I would say YouTube videos are kind of the best way to find out what I think about that. They will be coming out. I will cover all tactics. You will be able to find pretty much every topic of tactics. So we're going to do high line, all this stuff, auto pick the subs. And there we go. So we're going to jump into this first game. Why a double vol in this system? Why do you need a double vol in this? So if we think about it, like, let's look at this 4-4-2. Say you look at this 4-4-2, you've got attacking threat here, you've got some attacking threats, maybe a wing back, you've got this winger and then like this wing back, and you've got these 2 strikers. So you've got a bunch of attacking threats, right? Now, you've got a solid back 2, and then often these guys can get forward. So you've got a decent amount of attacking options for the 4-4-2. The problem with the 3-4-3 is, if you don't have volantes, let's say we use DMs on support, now we are so basic and rigid. We have this. This is our attack. Don't stop. Just keep your eye on it. This is what our attack is. Because the back 3 are not really going to get involved with the play, because the middle 2 are kind of going to do a few things and not really, you want, if you're going to play 3 at the back, to make up with the fact that you're more defensive and you've got another player on defend, you want to have your other players extra attacking for the balance. You can have volantes on support if you wanted to. Like for this game, playing against a much better team, we could justify playing volantes on support if we wanted to take less risk. But I'd rather start off strong. If we got a goal or 2, we can always switch to a thingy. You're fat. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. But because you followed and unfollowed me, I'm going to have to block you. I'm so sorry. My bad. Not too Jakey. Hello, welcome. Appreciate you. How's it going? So yeah, that's what we're going to do. This is why we play volantes. If you wanted to put a volante on support, for example, we put Longstaff, volante on support. No big deal. It's not going to make a massive difference. Loads of instructions on the winger. We need to make sure that this winger has cross less often, and he's customized so this guy always cross less often. And yeah, that should be about it. How do I make sure that no one can play? I need to work out how to block people because it's hella annoying. We need to find out how to have this save file and make it completely unjoinable. Like, I can make a password for everyone, but I'm not going to do that right now. Defender of the year, congratulations. Goalkeeper of the year, defender of the year. Might just let the guy play. Do what you want, buddy. Be Toronto. Congratulate on award. Well done. What is a volante, anyone? Where does it get that name from? Someone was telling me on YouTube the other day, it's just like basically kind of like a box-to-box midfielder, give or take. It's like box-to-box midfielder. Hi mate, are you continuing the save offline? Yes, I'm continuing the save offline by myself. I love this save so much, I don't want it to end. Plus, I haven't found a really good challenge for me to want to play by myself. But I feel like winning the Champions League with a Canadian team is pretty much up there in hardest things you can do on the game. I mean, you're not going to meet many people that could say that they've won the Champions League with a Canadian team while there was a wage cap. While you had a wage cap of £16,000 a week playing against basically Mexican teams of 500,000. Is there Champions League spots for Canada? Yeah. North American Champions League. Not the European Champions League. We're in North America. There is no way you can do that, surely. Do you want to bet? We've made the semi-final twice, buddy. Look, we got knocked out. Close game. I actually messed this game up. I actually played really badly in this game, and I made a huge error. Multiple huge errors, and we missed a penalty. But we won on XG away from home against Club America. I know it was a penalty, but we've made the semi-final twice of this. It might be 3 times. What about season 2? Where did we finish? We made the semi-final. Let they beat us 6-1. We made the semi-final 3 times in a row. So don't say you can't do that, Corey, because we are going to do it. I'm going to play until I'm going to play as Pacific FC until we win the Champions League with them. What is your opinion on one season trying to win the Prem with Ipswich or something like that? It's doable, yeah. It's doable, Hunter. That's cool. If you're allowed transfers in the first windows, possible. You will have to wager with you. Well, you'll lose that wager, my friend. How many seasons have I got to complete it, Corey? We're going to do it most likely this year. I'm going to win the Champions League this year. And if I don't win the Champions League this year, it'll be next year or the year after. How many seasons do I want? I'm going to do it within 5. I'm going to do it within 5 seasons. I'm not playing this save for more than 5 seasons. Plus, if we last any more than 5 seasons, all my good players are going to be retired. You might be one of the best players I saw in FM. Oh, thank you so much. You're not getting 5. What? How many am I allowed? How many am I allowed? Please. I need to find a way to become major admin of this. I should have thought about that pre-doing this, but it doesn't matter. You're going to see why it doesn't matter, and that's because I'm going to have a long transfer window. We're going to play this final, and then I'm going to have a long transfer window. So this is mostly going to be recruitment. You can sub to me as my wager. What do you get if you don't win? I'm going to win it, buddy. I promise you. There's absolutely no way. I've made the semi-final twice. My team's got much better than last year, and you're going to see in this transfer window, we're going to improve it a lot more. But yeah, we're winning the Champions League with the Canadian team. I promise you. But if you want me to post something to... oh, shit. That was a bit of an error. All right, so we said Okello's going out on this side. Longstaff's going on this side. The team does somewhat pick itself. We're not going to go with Russell Rowe. We're going to go with Bill Saint. Bill Saint just had an amazing... What was it? Playoff final. You know how long it is... Do you know how to log in as Dill, right? Or as his manager? Yeah, I do. I do, Harvey, yeah? So, okay, Toronto. But yeah, Harvey, how many seasons are you going to give me before I win the North American Champions League? We need a central midfielder. We're going to get, as soon as we finish the second leg of this final, 2 seasons. As soon as we finish this cup final, you're going to see me do a long transfer window. So you're going to see a lot of stuff to do with transfers and how I'm going to build this team to hopefully win the Champions League this year. And if not this year, I mean, if I don't do it this year or next year, I'll be so I'll either be really inspired to want to massively grind it out, or the opposite. You don't have to worry about the league and forward so much. That should make it easier, yeah. And signings are not going to be as competed for. Like, it's not going to be massive competition to sign certain players, like obvious signings that we would be battling out for. But there's not too many of them. My squad hasn't got that much the biggest thing I have against me is my squad is kind of capped. I can't really improve that much more than I already have. So it does make it... Oh, I hate when it does this. So it does make it kind of more difficult because we are slightly capped, but we've still got a little bit further to go. All right, we are hopefully going to get into this game against Toronto. Toronto are MLS Canadian side. They are far superior to me. If you look at their team's pretty nuts. They've got top players like this guy. This midfielder's all right. They have Kobe Franklin, who's another great one who I really would like. We nearly got... Do you remember that time when we nearly got Kobe Franklin? Nearly got him. Just about to start a Charlton Athletic save. Cool. All right. It's been a while since I played against the AI, but here we go. We're going with a 3-4-3 against a flat 4-4-2. They go a direct style, press more, which is kind of weird. They're basically doing dice ball, right? If you carry on your last performance, you will do well. I might say have fun and enjoy the match. Yeah, I've been liking these kind of less pressured team talks. The ones where kind of the people that hate big matches, kind of telling them like, hey, it's not really a final. It's kind of like an easy game. Whoops. It's kind of like, just like friendly, basically. No one cares about the Canadian Cup. Nice ball from Serjan Vinjal. Phil Saint goes over his head. Surprised by that. That's Bernardeschi, the guy who used to play for Juventus, I believe. Probably pronouncing that wrong too. But they got Bernardeschi and Insigne. How long did it take you to get this good at the game? I've been playing Football Manager since I was 9 years old. I started with Premier Manager 97. I've played every single Football Manager, every Championship Manager. And first minute we get a goal. But if ain't easy being Deezy. That's because I finally started streaming earlier. But 1 minute into this game, away from home, we've got Laria on this wing. He finds Bill Saint and Bill Saint buries it. I've been playing since the 70s, yeah. What's going on, Henry? Hello, buddy. So yeah, I've played since Premier Manager 97, then I played all the Championship Managers, then I played Football Manager. I feel like I was good at Premier Manager 97 when I was 9, to be honest. How's the Raiders going to Vegas affected it? It's just traffic when there's game days, and then it's good for the tourism. Tourism is probably not the right word. Good for the economy because there's a lot of like Raiders bars and stuff. People get together outside of the match, outside of the stadium to watch games together, like go to Raiders bars. Stephanie used to work part-time at a bar that was a Raiders bar. So we got absolutely spun here. Right-footed right winger, proper dice ball. And then boom, he's got up. He's beat. This is a feat itself to beat Okello in the air. So shout out to him. 1-1 after 3 minutes. Never boring. We're not expected to win away from home. Winning away from home is the more unlikely of the things that are going to happen. At home, I think we've actually got an advantage against Toronto, in my opinion. But that's more down to tactics rather than team quality. Toronto's team's still sick. Like, there's so many players on their team that I want. Rosted, Franklin, Gutierrez, Simpson. Like, they've got 5 players I would take right now. So they're 1 shot on target, our 3 shots on target. They produced half our XG. Going nice and steady. We haven't got to panic or worry about this. We just have to not... Our main goal is to not get smashed in the away leg. That's basically what I'm doing now, is avoiding getting smashed. Playing on balanced mentality. Nice save free at the back. Not committing anything too far forward. They will be able to double up out wide on the wings on occasion. But we're not expecting them to get amazing balls into the box like they did every time. So, yeah, keeping it 1-1 to the end would be great. Pinching another goal would be cool. My dad has been playing since 2005 and he's still shy. Yeah, that's what I mean. You can play the game for as long as you want and be bad at it. But I thought I was kind of good when I was a kid, but I used to cheat. When I was like 9, 10, 11, I used to just beat Arsenal, and I used to put all the best players on my team. I used to become manager of other teams, and then just transfer myself all the funds, sell all my worst players for the maximum funds, and then basically play Premier Manager with unlimited budget and sign all the best players on the game. The best players on Premier Manager 97 were like, what's up, Costas? Hello, buddy. The best players on Football Manager were like, on Premier Manager 97 was like Ronaldo, Georgie Ware, Maldini. My defense was like literally Cafu, Maldini, and then I had Ware and Ronaldo up front. So when I say I thought I was good for it, when I thought I was good when I was 9, obviously I was terrible, but I thought I was good. Oh, Correa, come on, buddy. Everyone used to do that. If you're a kid and you do that. What's up, Envy? Hello, long time no see. Yeah, I know. I never stream at this time. I won't be streaming ever again as late as I was. I was just part of the network save, so I had to stream when it was on, right? So it's going pretty well, but I'm going to say I don't like what I saw from the team. As much as I told them at the beginning of the game, hey, go out there and have fun, even though we're doing well in this game, I'm going to kind of psychologically trick these pretend players that, hey guys, that's actually not good enough. I expect to be beating these now based on what I've seen, which is kind of true and kind of not true. So little psychological, here we go, Loria. Bang. What? How did the ball not go in the net? They letting you back for next year? Yeah, I have been officially invited to the network save for next year. Yep. Why Gegenpress is better than possession style in FM? Time on the ball. Giving people time on the ball is bad. Like, look at this. We're on him. He's on the ball. Look, he's got time. As soon as he gets any time, it's bad. Don't let people have time on the ball. Phil saying, you bury that. You bury that. You bury that. No, he looked way onside. He looked way on, no? I want to see this. I never watched this, but I'm going to watch it. Okay, he's like 6 feet off. Only 6 feet off. Might be slightly biased, huh? I will come over and take York. Harfy, you could play in the next network save if you want. Harfy, if you desire, you can play in the next network save. The actual one that we're doing. I think it's on Sunday mornings. I'm surprised Dill hasn't invited you, to be honest, given that you beat Dill. The important thing is that you can watch it now. Exactly. We're good at defending corners. I should have said that after. I don't like to say we're good at defending corners. See Thiaguinho there? Went to break the man's legs. We're going to have a little switcheroony. Just a little one. Nothing crazy or major. Just a little change. We have to be careful with Correa because he can't cross. Why is Gegenpress so good? Gegenpress is so good in real life too. You don't want to let your opponent have the ball. Far post, take my risk. Alright. So we're going to get Serjan, playmaking wide, winger, basically. This is effectively an AP on support. Why do you use a double volante in a 3-4-3? I've gone over this one already, but I'll say it again. When you have 3 at the back, you are already super defensive compared to a 4 at the back system, especially a 4 at the back system with wing backs or whatever attack and roll you want to have as your wide players. You're already way more defensive. So you want to balance that out by being attacking. I've seen so many people, especially in a network save, have 3 at the back with an anchor and a DM. You basically have no attack. You basically have the same 5 players attacking every time. Or if you have like a DLP and a defensive midfielder on support, you've got no movement in the middle. You need to make your tactic more expansive, more attacking, have more ways to get goals than simply getting the ball to your wing backs, dribble and cross. If that's your only way to create, you're going to have problems. So yeah, to offset the fact that the deep line playmakers, the ball playing defender, free ball playing defenders is pretty negative, pretty defensive. You need to balance that out and get it up to the attacking levels. I will post something on YouTube about I'm going to use Rate My Tactic, and I'm going to show you the Rate My Tactics software and how it shows you how more defensive or how less of an attacking threat you are with 3 at the back. And then Volantes on attack is one of the things you can do to offset it and make it much more attacking. So we're 2 shots on target, 1.93 XG. We kind of had double the expected goals of our opponent. And time for changes, huh? Correa's not doing too great this game. We do have a good backup for him because it's the cup. So we can whack in Vital and then we can do something. We don't need to go more attacking because it's the first leg and we're going to play the second leg at home. And winning this is not the most important thing on earth. But we'll put on some pace for a fullback. Could have took Bill Saint off. I think I probably should have took Bill Saint off for Russell Rowe. I'll do that in like 5 minutes. I've seen that Rate My Tactic, and is it any good? It's only good for certain things. It's only good for like understanding how less of an attacking threat you are with certain shapes and what you would need to do to get the same level of attack as like a 4-4-2 or a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1. So we're going to go Russell Rowe, and then Thiago. Don't really need to change him. See, if this was the final leg, obviously I would go for it right now. I'd start playing a really attacking style and really try and make sure I get the win. I wouldn't just sit in the same formation even though it's going well and just expect to score. I would ramp up the aggression, put both Volantes on attack, go attacking mentality, push some other players up, maybe put another striker on, something like that. Because we're away from home, I'm just going to hope we get lucky with Longstaff here. Jesus. Longstaff, no. We're going to replace Longstaff. Spoiler alert, in the transfer window that's going to come up after this cup final, we're going to find a player better at passing, better on the ball, more of a playmaker than Longstaff. What has gone on there, boys? Whew. Lucky Insigne's slow. If that was the Insigne that played for Napoli, he would be running through there, tearing us up and scoring. Serjan's getting a bit tired. Longstaff's getting a bit tired. I think I've got more subs, right? One substitute. One substitute left. So I guess it's going to be Serjan and we're going to go Nelson. And that's going to be it for this game. If we ride this out to a 1-1, pretty good result for us. We play them at home. If we're getting 2.18 XG away from home against Toronto, you'd expect... I am recording this, yeah. I'm going to be always recording the streams, Henry. So, yeah, if we can... I could go demand more here. Again, demand more is something I'd say if we kind of had to win. But 1-1 is pretty good result and sets us up well for the second leg at home. Bang. Oh, man, we've missed some sitters, no? We've missed some sitters. That's another good chance. Nelson there should have got an assist for sure. Russell Rowe should have got a goal. And, yeah... No more Kendrick on absolute repeat, just 4 hours of Kendrick. But yeah, reducing them to a 1xG with this an attacking team. It's kind of weird how they're set up as well. This is not, do not copy Toronto's 4-4-2. Do not put Insigne, the weakest, smallest player on the pitch, on deep line forward. Don't put a complete wing back with a winger. Don't have a ball winning midfielder with a box-to-box midfielder. Don't put an AP in the middle. Loads of bad things. Like, I like ragging on the AI. I feel like I can rag on the AI or I can't rag on human players. Verify an update, then just loads for eternity. Do you know how to fix it? I'm the worst person you could ever ask for that. There's probably not anyone you know that would probably be worse to help you than me. Russell Rowe, you're going to finish, right? Okay. All right. Sweet. If he didn't finish there, I was going to be convinced that this cup final was not going to be ours. Beautiful goal. Dribble more centre back, plays it out, right wing back, finds the inverted winger, switches onto his left, finds the runner, advance forward. Beautiful goal. Yeah, the AI is not good at Football Manager. But yeah, this whole tactic's not good. AP, ball winning midfielder, just Look at it. Look how ugly it looks. Excuse me. Look how ugly it looks in the average positions. How does Young miss that? Can someone explain to me how Young missed that? 3.3 XG away from home against Toronto. I get the impression that your audience is desperate for more content. So make sure you advertise specific stream times on videos if you're planning on streaming that day. I only stream when I feel like it. I don't have a planned day unless I'm doing a network save or a draft. I'd rather just stream when I'm in the mood to stream and I feel like playing the game. I'm never going to schedule streams and have to stream when I don't feel like it. That's just something I'm not going to do, even if I got more viewers from it. I don't want more viewers to see me play Football Manager when I don't feel like playing Football Manager. Defensive work, you're passing, creative. New follower here. I've played the game since 1992, have a pretty good handle on the game, but finding you, hearing your philosophy of playing and implementing what I could do has really made me a lot better. I've played half a season in the French second division, 17 wins, 2 draws. Man, that is a killer. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. That is great. That is good to hear. I love hearing that. I've heard so many stories like that now, so I'm glad people are kind of adopting this way I play. Okay, now we're going to jump straight into it again. We bring it every single time we finish a match. We don't care that we've won. We bring up a tactical board and we look at it. We know they're going to play this flat 4-4-2 again. We've got a better idea of their roles. We know that this is the deep line forward and the slower one. House is going to be here. These guys are going to be here. Our wing backs are going to be here. And then for this game, one thing I wish I did in the last game was play 2 inverted wingers and no shadow striker. Glad to hear it. I'm glad that improvement was quick. So look, we don't need to win this game. We just need to not lose this game. We need to nullify their threats, which is wide in the wide areas. And if we create some chances ourselves, that'll be good. We already know that we can create a load of chances against them away from home. So this setup will be good. I like the lineup. One thing I will check though, because it's a final, you want to check this really quickly. Check playing time happiness and check that these guys are happy with their playing time. So he's concerned, he's leaving, he's concerned, he's leaving, he's concerned, he's leaving, he's concerned and a starter. So we have to, this is like a good way to check. We know that this guy has to play. We don't want him to become unhappy from not playing for no reason. So Purveyor's backup keeper, Correa didn't have the best game. We're going to support him this time. We are going to go with Brout over Winjal. Winjal didn't have the best game, and that's it. That's a little change. 15 games in a row, instantly starting your strategies after previously being 7th. Wow. Thank you so much. Glad to hear it. I will be posting this video on YouTube as well, so if there's anything that you want me to cover, what's the Pentagon? Winning the Champions League in every continent. So there's a Champions League in North America, Champions League in South America, Champions League in Asia, Champions League in Europe, and I believe, where's the other one? Since we're sharing the blueprint Fletcher Source has had on us, I'm on my 3rd Premier season with Hampton and Richmond after 12 and 5th season, incorporating some of your thinking. I just finished 5th and got Champions League football. Well, you've got the lowest salary. Wow. Very nice. Got this 3-1. I'm testing my international team Brazil, dominating 80% possession. Yuck. I hate having possession. Look at my average possession. I think I've got some of the, not the lowest in the league, but insanely low for, like, this is the points for the league, right? How many did I win by? 14 points, right? I won the league by 14 points. We got a Discord. If one of the mods could happily post a link in the Discord, I would love that. Save me doing it. I appreciate you. So we won by this, but we don't like having the ball. We like scoring goals. Having the ball, this is how I think about it. Every time you have the ball and you choose to not do something attacking, to keep the ball, you do something defensive. Instead, that's a chance not created, and I hate it. I don't like it. I want to score as many goals as possible, and that is what we'll be trying to do right now in the final. So if you're wondering what we're doing right now, this is the cup final, the domestic cup at the end of season 4. If we win this game, well, hopefully we win this game, hopefully we win this cup, then what we're going to do is go into, if you don't know, the transfer windows in Canada are so long. They're insanely long. So we're just going to go into a real long transfer window, and I'm going to go over, this is going to be more of a transfer strategy, transfer window type thing going on. Win the league with no possession. The only time that happened is with Leicester win the league title. Yeah. Yeah, I know you're winning 3-0. Right? You'll win games playing a possession style. What I'm saying is I like to win those games 8-0 or 8-2 or 8-3 or 6-2. Like, I don't mind conceding. Conceding goals doesn't mean anything to me. Like, if I win a game 1-0, that's great. If I win a game 5-0, that's cool. If I win a game 5-4, that's cool. 3 points is the maximum amount of points I can get. But I can get the maximum amount of fun by scoring bundle of goals. You're in the Discord now. Sweet. Look forward to. Say hello in the chat. We also have a section in the Discord, which is rate, roast, fix my tactic. People send me tactics, and then sometimes on stream when I feel like it, I'll go through a list and say what I like or don't like about certain tactics. Or if the tactic isn't working, I'll explain why it isn't working. Or if it isn't working, how someone hoped. I'm interested in seeing how you scout with masking attributes on. Well, I'll show you. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. I don't have any sort of really complex scouting strategy. I don't do anything insane-o, but I do something, a couple of things I don't see many other people doing, and I do recruit my players in an unusual style. So if I type in my name, I know there's a quicker way to get to this menu, but I always forget what it is. People laugh at me when I like basically search myself. But if you look at this, I'm known for attacking football, building around teams that are strong at set pieces. That's true. Playing entertaining football, that's good. Wanting a high tempo pressing game. Signing players with higher reputation. This is probably my main one. This is probably the main thing I do differently to other people on Football Manager. Is most people just sign a bunch of wonder kids or who's the best young players. I really put a focus on signing players of high reputation for my relative squad. And then signing under 23s, I don't even believe this is true. I don't see any evidence of this. Isn't the best tactic determined statistically on FM Arena? I don't really want to talk about this because it's kind of boring, but I'll do my best to quickly finish this myth. The top tested tactics on FM Arena are tested against other rando tactics. Some bot tactics, some whatever, like they'll use Man City and they'll see how well Man City can do against the bot AI tactics of the Premier League. I'm suggesting that the best tactic is dependent on how your opponent's tactic is. Basically, there's a misconception in Football Manager that everyone is not aware of, and that is they totally disregard the opposition's lineup, the opposition's tactic, what the opposition's trying to do, and they just don't consider any of that. They plug in a tactic and test it. So the top tested tactic is the tactic that does best against the average formations that they test against. When I do a tactic test, I'll put in the top tested tactic, and then I'll play against that top tested tactic using my tactic, and I'll work out a way to beat that top tested tactic, and then I'll look at the best top tested 3 at the back, and then I'll make a tactic to beat that and test it, and now I have the best tactic that beats the best 4-2-3-1 and a tactic that beats the best 3 at the back. So having a tactic that to me that you just play against every formation seems prehistoric, and it's like they'll be like, my tactic's amazing and it beats everyone apart from a couple of teams, and then you look and you'll be like, why doesn't it beat them couple of teams? Well, they do something wacky and weird. So like, why don't you change for when you play them teams that are wacky and weird? Because I really like my tactic and it's good. And it's like, oh, okay. So yeah, it's the best tactic tested against bot tactics, and it's the best one against the average formation. If you test it in the Premier League, you're going to play against a lot of 4-2-3-1s and a lot of 4-3-3s and a few random teams like Wolves that play 3 at the back, or some Brentfords maybe, or some whoever's. However, if you tested top tactic against someone who played and it played against a formation that beats it, it's like not going to do that well. It'll still do great because it's like it's good, right? But you can make stuff that beats it. So what I do, this is the midfield. Spoiler alert, this is the midfielder I want. Thank you so much to Dynamo for the follow. Really appreciate that. Thank you for the follow. But we're going to get this final done. As soon as the final's done, we're going to move into recruitment mode. I'm actually more in the mindset for recruitment right now, more so than tactics. I've just done a full season of tactics and a bunch of tactic videos on YouTube. So I'm more interested today in talking about recruitment type stuff. But yeah, FM Arena, top tested tactic. What you want to do is become the manager of Liverpool and Arsenal. Plug the top tested tactic into Liverpool and control that manager and just leave it and let it run. Become Arsenal's manager and tweak your formation and keep changing it and keep moving it around until you start having success. When you see whatever success you're having for whatever reasons, keep tweaking that and changing it, and then you'll eventually find a tactic that works really well against that top tested tactic. And then if you wanted to, you could put that formation that you made into every team in the Premier League and then use the top tested tactic for Liverpool and run it and see how badly it does when it plays against a tactic that nullifies it, which helps me support my point of you can make a tactic to beat a tactic. So why not make a tactic to beat a tactic every game? For example, this game we're playing against a 4-4-2, flat 4-4-2, in a team that's superior than us pretty much everywhere on the pitch, but not drastically superior than us. So what we're going to do is play -1 in attack. This is what their team looks like. 4-4-2, flat 4-4-2. We're playing 3 at the back, 4 in the middle, 3 up front. We're going to have our wingers on their wing backs. So they're frauds, basically. It's not frauds. They're not frauds. They're the best at making tactics that play against general tactics. Also, the game engine is literally broken. You can take Luton to the Premier League, remove all the players, give them 25 players from current ability, and pace. Yeah, I've seen that Zealand video. I've seen that one with the pace is broken. It's more to do with the AI being bad than anything, I would say. It's more to do with the AI being bad at the game. And speed just being, yes, physical stats are OP. We've got this physical player. This is a guy. He's really quick. He'd be a good example of one of those current ability players. He's a bit lower current ability than 125. However, he's really quick. He's had kind of mixed performances in this team. But again, I haven't tested it. I haven't tested it with having the whole team being lightning fast, right? So that's one argument against it. But I would say you could replicate the results of what Zealand was trying to do by having better roles. Like if you didn't focus on just pace, but you focused on pace and a few other things for a few other roles, and you didn't focus on pace for, say, the DMs. The DMs, you just made them insane playmakers. And then the striker, you could make him not fast and have him a target forward or something. You'd get even better results than the one that he got. I nearly clicked encourage. You have to always remember, if you're winning, the team shouts roll over for those that don't know. So clicking encourage while you're technically 1-0 up would be a mistake. You don't want to say encourage when you're 1-0 up. It's a boo-boo. You don't want to be making boo-boos, especially in cup finals like this. I'm hype about this cup final. I'd like to win it. But again, when I'm playing a team like Toronto, they're better than me. I'm not expecting to win it. How would you arrange the defense if your opponent has a really, really shit single striker? I'd never play free. You can play free at the back if you want and have the guy man for man with the back centre back. But again, this is why I don't like these type of questions, Hunter, because I want to know how good all the other players are too. I'm excited for the new graphics engine. I don't care about the graphics. I think the graphics are incredible. I think that this Football Manager is amazing. I think FM24 is one of the best games ever made. I think that the graphics are incredible if you consider that the amount of games that get simmed at once when you're playing, like all the games that are played simultaneously. I love this match engine. I played on 2D match engine most of my life, so I never really cared about the graphics. So yeah, it doesn't really bother me. Are you trying to get a sponsor? Nah, I actually like the game. I don't like bashing on a game that I think is amazing. I certainly couldn't do a better job of making this game, that's for sure. I can make a better squad planner. Let me show you my better squad planner. This is the squad planner 2.0 that I made for Football Manager. That's actually an improvement. But the only thing I'll rag on Football Manager is the squad planner. This is my squad planner and it's much better. Other than that, I don't like giving them a hard time. They made an amazing game. people think it's trendy and cool to like shit on the game, but they play it all day, every day. And it's like, well, there's something about it you like if you play it that much. But no, I love the game. I think it's great. I think the engine's cool. Because I play a lot of PvP, I don't play against the AI that much. This is a rare time you're seeing me play against the AI. Because I play mostly PvP, the game is super difficult if you play against good opponents. If you're a top tier Football Manager player, you play against another top tier Football Manager player, it's a tough game. If you play against a botty AI like Toronto playing a worst 4-4-2 ever. How does PvP work for FM? You do a network save and play each other, or you play a draft mode and play each other. Especially when you compare it to games like F1 Manager. Yeah, because if F1 Managers, how many teams is there even in football FM Manager? How many like things are there? There's not 430,000 players. There's not like tens of thousands of teams. So there's so much more data and stuff. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting on Football Manager. Whereas you're going to need good graphics to make Formula 1 Manager entertaining. Not that I know anything because I've never seen it played once. Okay, we kind of just muddled along through this game. We kind of didn't really do anything exciting. We're going to do the opposite of what you might think. We're obviously happy with the result as it would stand. If it stands 2-1, we win. That's good. We're still doing higher tempo. We are still whatever. We will be more disciplined because we don't want to concede. We want to be disciplined. So it makes sense. Vil Saint hasn't played great in this final. We're going to play Russell Rowe. He come on and scored last game, so why not? Longstaff has been not that great in general. We're going to replace Longstaff. I'm going to talk a lot about replacing these players, so I don't want to cover it too much right now. We can go another gear. You will see the difference next year. Don't forget, 3D is still running and 2D engine. That's why you have 3D looking weird, yeah. So yeah, back to this final. We are reduce them to 0.13 XG over a half. That's cool. That's what we want to do. We are, I think if we score a goal, this is Jeej. Bang. Woo! Called it. Longstaff, I was just ragging on him. Longstaff is going. We're going to find a bit. Longstaff is what I would call a ball-winning box-to-box player. What I would like is a playmaking box-to-box player. So we're going to replace Longstaff. We're going to sell him. He also wants a new contract that we can't give him. And even if we could give him it, we wouldn't give him it because we want to replace him. We just made that little tweak for Longstaff, and that ended up making some bit of a difference. How much, I won't be able to know or take credit for. But Longstaff again, ball into the box. Sergen's actually fairly tall for a winger, so I expected him to get his head on that, but he didn't. Thiaguinho is going to shoot. We knew that. So yeah, hopefully we win this final, and then we're going to get deep into the recruitment side of things, and we're going to talk as a team. You guys are going to be my assistant manager, especially Harfy. For you guys who don't know, Harfy in the chat is actually my assistant manager. If we go to staff here and we look at staff and we look at assistant manager, you will see my assistant manager is Harfy. I know you like a lot of the dynamic DM roles, but are there any CM roles you like? Nah. CM on attack. I don't really like many formations that... I basically don't play any formations that play CMs. But if I was going to use one, it would be a CM on attack, which is basically like a blank slate, and then you customize it to whatever you want. We're going to praise up the boys here. We're going to take off Laria, who's on a yellow. For those who... you're the coach, Henry. Yeah, you can pick one of the coaches to be, Henry. So we're going to take off Laria, and we're going to put on Vinjao, a left back. And then we're going to switch these boys around because this was a right-footed left back. And yeah, the reason I like CM on attack is you can make the player do whatever you want them to do. It's fully customizable, and yeah, it looks like we're going to see this out. We're going to take Okello off. He's looking a bit tired. I really like Young. Most people, if you look at Young, your first thought is going to be he's not a centre-back. No way is this guy a centre-back. But I kind of like him at centre-back. He's got just about enough of the stuff to make him reasonable at centre-back. And then he's a bit more of a ball-playing defender. He's nice defender to have in a back three. Wouldn't really like him in a back two, but he's nice for a back three for this level. And now our job is to praise up the boys, see out this game, continue to stop Toronto doing much. So one thing you could do, I don't want to do it this game, but I will just do it to show you. We can just drop these guys, Segundo Volante on support, like this. Boom, that's enough. We could drop a line if we wanted to, but their strikers are not particularly quick. Insigne is really slow, so I'm not going to drop the line. If they had quick strikers that could hurt us just with like a one ball over the top, we might drop the line, but I'm not going to do that. Just tell the Volantes to chill out. They haven't got to do as much forward runs. They haven't got to crash the box as much. We're already winning. We're just going to coast out and win this final. I was going to ask if you're interested in making a video of what you look for in a player, the positions you use. Like I never really looked at dribbling for a centre defender, but a ball playing defender with good dribbling, dribble more, I'm in love. Man, look at my defenders. I'm really proud of this for no reason. One of my favourite things to do is get defenders who have at least 9 dribbling. So House has 9 dribbling. For Premier League level, I'd say 10, 11 dribbling. For this, I'd say 8, 9, 10 for Canadian Premier League. But we've got 10 dribbling Neil, and then we've got 10 dribbling Young. They never lose the ball. This is why dribble more is just busted on centre-backs. Because if you get ones that are actually decent, you could put dribble more on centre-backs that are bad at dribbling. But I just don't like it. It doesn't make sense in my head. But to put dribble more on a centre-back who's actually decent at dribbling, they will dribble and never lose the ball. I've seen it in 4 seasons. I've only seen maybe 1 or 2 highlights where one of my centre-backs has dribbled and lost the ball. So we're going to put Toy here as a target forward on support. He's going to be doing the job that Correa was doing, just in a different way. He's going to be holding up the ball. Holding up the ball is good when you're winning. Not taking more risk is good when you're winning. But he's just holding up the ball. If he drops in and gets into midfield, he comes deep, gets the ball. He's big, he's strong, he's tall, he can dribble. He's going to take the ball and hold it up and waste a bunch of time. This is random, but I think it will be cool if you review, test, laugh at a fan submitted tactic. We do it all the time. Look, this is our Discord. This is Discord right now. This is rate, roast, review my tactic. These are tactics that get posted. I'm going to show you all the tactics that I haven't rated or reviewed yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we got like 9 tactics to review, rate, or roast if I wanted to. So yeah. So we're seeing out this game. We've got 2 XG, 6 shots on target, 25 shots total, 61% possession. Completely dominated this 4-4-2 from Toronto, who are a much superior team than us. I'm using much reputation wise. I mean, they're an MLS team, and we're a Canadian CPL team. And I noticed that no one puts congrats in the chat. No one puts well done, even though I'm just like expected to win this game. I'm almost at the level now where if I didn't win this game, people would laugh at me. They'd be like, how do you not beat them? Even though they're a better team than me. Thank you so much, Janty. Thank you for the congrats. Appreciate you. Look at me begging for the congrats. Yeah, we convincingly built a squad that's beaten Toronto, and we've won. This is the double. It's technically the triple. You win the league, you get a shield. I know, it's funny, you get to a thing, right? When you play against some of the best FM players in the world and win, they're like, wow, that's amazing. And then when you beat them all the time, they're like, stop even saying well done. And then when you play against the AI, I can't believe you conceded a goal, pretty poor. See, this is what level you get to, and people are just like, you're expected to win. But if you want to learn how to get no credit for beating a top Canadian MLS team, but winning 4 titles, 4 playoffs, and 2 cups in a row, download my tactic and win everything. Nah, just kidding. Just jokes. We don't do that. So the board are happy. We are going to say some stuff, and then we're going to switch this mentally into a full recruitment stream. And I'm warning you right now, if you don't like really long transfer windows, definitely leave right now, because in Canada they got a hell of a long transfer window. But I love